me that her agency wouldn't let her send it out to me, which was weird.
What? Is this the seller's agent?
Yeah. She said that,
just talk to a different agent.
yeah. She said that they do all the paperwork and that she'd be able to handle everything.
Well, we'll talk about how to make sure that they fill it out your way.
All the stuff I should be looking for while I'm reading over the contract.
I'm excited for you, Isaiah.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Anytime, man.
So you said you only use the purchase agreement?
Well, when you sign it out, you're going to use a different form, but when the purchase agreement, you're going to use that one.
The end buyer's contract too.
It's just like this the assignment one, which I'll send to you. You can use it anywhere. It's one page. It's like 3/4 of a page. It's
okay.
I like to keep things very simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay.
I'll send that over to you too.
All right.
My dad just sent me a text message. The Golden Girls, the TV show, the house that they were at in Los Angeles is up for sale, $3 million.
Scott, that's chump change for you.
Yeah, with your bank account.
That's
you're my proof. You're my proof of funds, buddy.
There's an expensive Airbnb.
Yeah. There's Colleen Baracci. What's going on, Colleen?
Oh my God, she's got to be driving in between appointments right now.
No, I got home about 20 minutes ago. I'm good today.
Wow.
Got about 6 hours worth of paperwork to do, right?
Yeah, I'll be on my laptop for a little while. But it's okay. Got nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah.
No.
So do you think I got to fix that hole in the closet or what? Tell me.
I'm waiting for the agent, for the buyer to call me back. I sent it to him and just said, tell me what you want. So
I'll give him $50 if he'll take it with that hole in the closet.
No problem. I have a feeling he will, but I got to double check first.
Okay. So, yeah.
I got somebody who just texted me and said, I don't have a pre-approval, but I know I can afford a mortgage and I need to see a house tonight in Clarendon.
Okay.
Seriously?
Let Brian know. Brian will take him right out there.
I'm like, call my loan officer first. And when he sends me over the letter, I'll meet you anytime.
Clarendon. Oh my God.
Holy crap. It's raining cats and dogs again here.
Yeah, it's like thundering like crazy over here.
I'm supposed to get my driveway sealed tomorrow. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good for the next week, till next Wednesday or something. It's supposed to be nice on Sunday. That's about it.
Oh, man. We just got our parking lot sealed and striped. And they striped it this morning. And thank God it dried.
Well, I guess.
Wow. It started raining here at like 3. I'm a little east of you guys, though, so.
Is Saturday afternoon supposed to rain? I got a listing. I got to get drone footage on. It's supposed to be lousy that day?
It's supposed to be
Saturday's supposed to be perfect.
Is it?
0 chance of rain.
Oh, nice.
Good. Perfect. Good answer.
Kivo, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, Kiva.
Time we got 7:05, and the president has joined us, so we're good now.
Everybody look busy. Leon's on.
Uh-oh.
All right. So welcome, everybody, even you total non-video participants. We are going to do a breakout room. And in the past, with breakout rooms, if you're non-video, it just doesn't seem to work. So just so you know, when we go to breakout rooms, If it works, good. If it doesn't, just hang out. In about 15 minutes or so, we go back to the general meeting. So, but we like to see everybody's face. So there you go. This is the alternatives meeting, the FREIA, Freedom First Real Estate Investors Association.com. Alternatives meeting. We talk about ways to make money in real estate in all ways except for landlording. We'll let the conversation go to landlording once in a while. We'll talk about it a little bit, but for the most part, there's a separate group for that. And that's where you can go talk about landlording. Just quick, we do not offer financial, legal, tax advice. We just offer information. So if you want to check things out, we'll give you some information, but check it out with your accountant, your attorney, your CPA, all those guys. So that's a quick disclaimer. How we do it, I see a few new people on here, at least I think they're new, and then we'll have them introduce themselves really quick. And then I'm sure Leon's got a few things he wants to talk about, so we'll let him do that. A lot of things coming up. And then we'll do needs and wants. If you have a property you're looking to sell, or if you're looking for a property, then we'll bring it up at that point. That'll just be quick. Just talk about properties on that. Or if you're looking for a contractor. And then we'll go we'll do the breakout room. Breakout room, if you've never done it, it's like a mini networking room. There'd be like 4 of us in a room. You go in the room for like 15 minutes, introduce yourselves. I'll come up with questions to talk about while you're in there. And then what'll happen is you'll get a screen pop and it'll say, click here to join your meeting room. You click on that. It'll go for 15 minutes. There's a countdown timer in there. And then at the end, you'll just come back to this general meeting. Then after that, we'll do like question and answers after that. So then we'll wrap it up after all that. So if anybody have any questions about the agenda for the meeting agenda? All right, good. All right. Leon, I'm going to give you the floor for a couple minutes. I'm sure you got some announcements you want to make. You're muted, buddy.
Should be unmuted now. Yep, thanks. Just a couple of quick items. Not a lot of stuff to go over. Clearly, we try to go through all the ranges of things taking place, particularly from the legislative standpoint. We'll be here all night. But one of the key things we want to talk about is to make sure people are aware we have the picnic coming up. And we get a fair number of questions from people around exactly what it's going to be and how it's going to be. And I just basically tell them it's going to be. We haven't worked out all the details at this point from the standpoint that we know we're going to have a picnic, and at one end of the spectrum, you'll get the food in a little box, At the other end of the spectrum, it'll be much like it's been in the past. And the reason why we can't really answer that is just because of the fact that things are subject to change. And that's not really a lot different than it's been in previous picnics. It's just that it was a little bit more firm what it is that we're going to do and how we're going to do it. It's going to be in the same place, which is the Webster Park. And I want to make sure people know the Webster's Park in Webster, New York, and not the other one in the city. And I know most of the people know that, but it's going to start at 6 o'clock. Typically, we try to get done around 9 o'clock because at 10 o'clock everybody's got to be out. For most of us, it'll be like a fairly large full day almost event because we have to start cooking and preparing the food and making sure everything is all set up. A lot of the things, a lot of what we do, I should say, depends on exactly how we are able to utilize the space. with COVID-19, clearly things are changing over time. Hopefully things will be relaxed a little bit more, which means we'll be closer back to our normal in-person type of event. Clearly we'll have all the food and drinks like we've had in the past. That's the intent. So again, it's going to be, let's make sure we get the date, Thursday, August 13th. So hopefully everyone can be there. And remember, this is the event that if you're a member, you can come and you can bring a guest for free. It's one of those things that I use as part of my value proposition when I'm talking to folks to make sure they know if you just pay the $169 to be an individual member and you bring someone to a picnic and a holiday party, you got your money back already. And then some. You know, you might make a deal with Scott or Joe and that'll make it even better. So the other thing I wanted to point out is, as most people know, we are a coalition member with Under One Roof. And on the 21st of August, they're going to have a golf tournament. And so I want people to go online, take a look at that, look at registering. And for people who think that, you know, when you look at real estate investing, it's, you know, one side of the coin or the next. We all who've been around a while know that they're quite interrelated. And it means that everything that takes place in pretty much any segment of real estate investing impacts other areas. So by going to that event and participating or just donating, take this opportunity to make that comment. Donating to Under One Roof will help us as real estate investors to address a lot of the things that we need to counteract. A lot of legislation, a lot of things going on from the tenant side of the house. And Under One Roof, just make sure people understand, it's not associated with tenants. It's not associated with landlords. It's associated with both. Because to be successful, we need to be able to understand both sides of what's happening and what's going on and put in place solutions that are holistic in nature. So, Joe, Andy, you got anything you want to add?
I don't know.
Okay. So that said, I'll hand it back over to you, Scott.
Thank you. And like Leon said, if you want to go to the picnic, make sure you let Susan know. So I pre-register so she can get you on the books. We have enough food. Okay, I see maybe some new faces. Sherwin, maybe you've been on here before. But if not, we'd like you to just do a little intro on yourself, and anybody else who's new, like this is your first alternatives meeting or, you know, first FFREIA meeting. Just give a little intro on yourself, your name, your background, and what type of real estate you're investing in.
Sure, I'll go. This is my second meeting.
Yep.
But a lot of new to a lot of people here, so I didn't see a lot of people from the last meeting here. So been in the real estate only on the investment side, don't own any properties or anything like that. Looking to get into that in the Rochester market. Long term, I still plan to hold a W-2, so not looking for this to be a full-time job or anything. Passive income.
All right, welcome. We're glad you're here. Anybody else that's new, whether you're a video participant or non-video? Nope. Okay.
I haven't been on in months. I was attending, my name is Brian Topher. I was at the 7 a.m. Bayfront restaurant meetings. When this moved to virtual, I hadn't been active in 3 or 4 months. So this is my first meeting back.
All right. Everybody here, tell us a little about yourself, Brian. what you do now and what you'd like to be doing in real estate.
Yes, I am an architect and I knew very little about real estate, so I've been trying to learn more to be my own client instead of consulting for the rest of my life. I'm still new. I know very little.
Now at this point, we'll go around the room and do have needs, wants. If you have a property you're looking for or something you're looking to sell, now's the time to bring it on. So we'll just open it right up. Anybody got anything?
Sure. Looking for a duplex or triplex in a BC neighborhood. Triplex is probably hard to come by. I'm also looking for a single family home in an upcoming area or in Maplewood for potential flip opportunities.
All right, good. I got for my brother, anybody looking to invest out in Medina? He's got a house out there. He's willing to own or finance it. I think he's asking about 46, 47 for it. Needs about 40,000 put into it. He says it's worth between 120 and 140 all fixed up, or it'll rent out for about 1,600 a month. He's willing to hold a note on it. And so if you're interested in investing in Medina, let me know.
I've got, Scott, I've got a couple of places. I've got one house, which is in the 19th ward. It's a fixer-upper. This is not for everybody. It's a firehouse, which means it caught fire. So ARV is 135. It's not in too bad a shape. The back half caught fire because of the air conditioning unit, HVAC unit. It's probably gonna go for right around between $39,900 and $45,000 bucks. But for anybody who's never done a fire job, this is not for you. I'm just telling you right now. If you've done them before, that's great. If not, it's not going to be for you. A house just got listed for 135 on that street. 19th ward, great area, nice part of the 19th ward. I also have a house which is in Pittsburgh. The ARV somewhere on the high side, be about 275. Needs work. People have lived there 24 years. On the tax records, it reads as, I think, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, or what, I can't remember how many bathrooms it has, believe it or not. But it's way bigger than that because it also has a finished attic, which has 2 more bedrooms, and he also has a finished basement, which also has another bedroom down there. It's got a 15-foot deep diving pool. It's going to need some work. You know, they've been there for 24 years. They need to get out. It's probably going to go for somewhere around 155-ish, give or take. And I do have a couple of properties in the city of Rochester. I'm trying to figure out what to do. One is a single family house. It's in great shape. It's in a C-type neighborhood. The tenants have been there for probably 12 years. They're the cleanest tenants I've ever, they're just incredible. I literally wanted to clone them. I was trying to steal a hairbrush and take them and throw them in a test tube because it was unbelievable. Okay. That one over there, I got to figure out what the price is going to be because I literally can't remember what the heck we bought it for. But I think that one's going to go for somewhere right around, I think 46 or 47,000 is probably worth somewhere in the mid 60s all day long, give or take, maybe a little bit more. And I know I'm trying to think, I know there's another property I probably forgot. I don't have my board in front of me. So if you are interested, find me, call me, email me, whichever. Oh, and I'm also looking for properties, looking for bigger stuff, bigger units. Everyone's looking for apartment complexes, just like, you know, all of us are.
Joe, could you please put your email address in the conversation?
I have no idea how to even do that. I can give it to you. I am not kidding you. I have no idea how to do that.
Well, I'll just text you then. I was trying to be nice by emailing you. I'll just text you.
Yeah, my email is 1-855-JoeBuys@gmail.com. 1-855-JoeBuys@gmail.com, or just text me. I'll send it to you. I literally have no idea. You're okay to be able to get onto this thing.
I forgot. I can probably drive around the corner and just look at one of your billboards, and it'll be on that, right?
It'll be a lot easier than dealing with a computer for me.
All right, anybody else? Anybody else got anything they're looking for or they got that they want to sell? Colleen, you probably have something in your book of business.
Yeah, I've got 4 investors that are looking for houses under 40,000, single families. And I've got 1 investor who's looking for 2 families in halfway decent shape, under 100. So if you have anything that isn't on the MLS, then let me know. Basically, I come over, take a bunch of pictures, and send all the information to my clients, and I don't obligate you to list with me or anything. And if one of my guys buys it, then of course you pay me then. But other than that, I just try and find whatever I can for the people who are looking.
Colleen, the ones that are 40,000 and below, I assume they're going to know it's going to need some work.
Well, so they're looking in areas where a house that's between 30 and 40,000 is still livable. So they're not looking in the best neighborhoods, but they're looking in, you know, to get some cash flow and low cash out of their pocket. So that's what their goal is.
All right, good. Thanks.
I have something. I have a double on St. Paul down by the 104. It's vacant. It's going to need some work. And then I have actually a cash flow property with tenants, new CFO on Fernwood off of Portland. And both of those are under 50.
Can I'm going to put my contact information in the chat for you, so you can maybe send me some information. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Great. Thank you.
I may need help getting it out. I'm like Joe, but my wife is here. She'll help.
No problem.
Hevio, that one on St. Paul, that's not the one in the 1800 block, is it? Or is that a different one?
It is an 1800 block.
Is it? Because I think you sent, or Earl sent me one there, but I thought it was a single.
No, it's a double. It's upstairs, downstairs. Earl's never been to the house, so he may have said single. I was at the house with the owner.
Oh, because I own 1880. I'm a couple houses over from that. I'm literally like 2 houses away from that house.
Okay, so yeah, that's in the same block.
Yeah. So if it's the same one, that's a whole different story. If I'd known it was a double, I would have called you days ago. Really,
we had that issue with miscommunication last week, and someone lost out on something with us because he thought it was something different. But I'll give you a call tomorrow, Joe, because I'll be around and I do have full access. So
perfect. Now I have to go flatten Colleen's tires.
I was gonna say, you heard it, everybody.
We can both go look at it at the same time and just fight it out.
I know. You'll beat me.
Yeah. Colleen, you gonna make Joe cry again?
I try, but it's not always easy. He's getting resilient to my charms.
So what's cross street with 1800 St. Paul? Whereabout is that?
That's right. That's south of the expressway, the overpass, the 104, where Ronnie and Rochester meet.
Yep.
Right.
Right there.
So, near the zoo, then?
Not down that far, quite. Like right before you get to the overpass.
South of it.
Oh, south of it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Near Ridge
Got it.
Lumber, Lanky Planky.
I don't know what that is, but
So it's south of 104 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what a good little neighborhood.
I got to flatten your tire too.
Good place to go fishing.
Well, flat my tires, I won't be able to meet you out in that one we were
Medina?
talking about earlier.
I forgot. All right. God's safe.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, anybody else got anything you're looking for? Okay. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to breakout rooms. Let's see, we got 32 people. So we'll go into breakout rooms of 4 people each. And when you get on there, we'll go alphabetical order, but we're gonna go backwards. So if there's a Z in your room, you're gonna go first. And take like 2 minutes. We're gonna be in there for about 15 minutes altogether. Take 2 minutes for yourself and then pass off to the next guy. I want you to introduce yourself, give your background, what your experience is in real estate, like what you're investing in now, and what type of real estates. And the one thing I want everybody to answer is, what's the one thing that would help you reach your goal by the end of the year?
All right, repeat what we're talking about. What are our talking points?
Talking points. You're gonna introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background, where you came from, what your experience is, and what types of real estate you're investing in or want to. And the most important question, what's the one thing that would help you reach your goal by the end of the year? 2020 is half over. Good news for some, bad news for others.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are you?
Sorry, I'm in bed with a headache.
Well, that's a lousy way to have a meeting, I guess, but it's
Yeah, I'm trying to sit up so I don't look like I'm in bed.
That's okay.
I listen now.
You're fine. I'm wearing.
All right, I'm in bed too.
I'm wearing a Kool-Aid Man shirt, and my 7-year-old doesn't know what the heck the Kool-Aid Man is.
Grounded.
You too.
Right? Anyway.
Grounded.
All right. Who's Isaiah? What's your last name?
Milne.
Oh, you get to go first. Look at you.
Oh, okay. What am I? Am I just saying?
Introduce yourself, a little bit about what you're doing, and what kind of investing you're looking into getting into. And I heard a little bit at the very beginning of the meeting with the Q&A with Scott. But
yeah, I'm Isaiah Milne, and I'm like really new to real estate, so just been communicating with this group, and Joe's been a lot of help for me. He's been kind of holding my hand on the steps. I'm trying to get into wholesaling.
Got it.
So I'm on the last step of just looking for properties. I've got one lined up tomorrow I'm going to walk through. And if all goes well, it'll be first property. So
cool. Good luck.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Thank you.
So what's gonna help you hit your goals? What is your goal for the year, if you have one, and what's gonna help you get there? Or is it just get the property and get started? And
I want to get started. I want at least 5 before the end of the year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a good goal, man. Go for it.
I don't know what's gonna help me get there. Persistence, I guess.
Awesome. All right, so I guess I'm next. I'm Andy. Probably most of the people in here at least know a little bit about me. I used to be the Home Depot guy. That's how I got involved in the group. I haven't been the Home Depot guy for a little over 2 years. I run my own consulting firm now. I do consulting for mostly property managers, a little bit for investment firms, and big investment banks and consultants. I consult for consultants. It's kind of interesting, but they pay me, so whatever. And I'm still really involved in building materials and stuff. I have this lovely book sitting in front of me for my next set of alphabet soup at the end of my name, because I apparently collect those like they're going out of style. And yeah, that's about it. I don't do real estate investing yet. I will eventually when I get a little closer to putting some retirement money that's a little bit more active, going down the maybe flipping, but probably landlording out of New York a little bit longer term. But that's pretty much it.
This freaking thing. It's my turn.
It is.
I don't want to hold this. Wait, hang on.
You're okay.
There we go. Well, you can barely see me, but that's all right. It's better than nothing.
That's okay.
I am Elizabeth, and my husband and I do real estate. We've done real estate for about, I'm not sure now, maybe 6 years. We bought our first place. We have 12 units, 6 apartments, 3 in like Beechwood and 3 in South Wedge.
Oh, nice.
And like one of them's kind of South Wedge. It's actually technically Wadsworth Square, right across from the Museum of Play. And right now, I haven't been to a meeting in a long time because I'm renovating the one in near the Museum of Play.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. So, because we're hoping to refinance. That's what we're doing. We're hoping to. Has anybody tried to refinance? I know refinancing for investment properties, you don't get the same super low interest rate, but has anybody like done that? Have you heard of anybody doing that lately?
I'm sure there have been people. Usually, I think it's been going hand in hand with cash out. So taking equity out and doing other things with it. I think that's usually what they're going for. Either that or cashing out and using it to upgrade repair so they can raise rent before there's a moratorium on raising rents. So people are doing it. Where they're getting the money and who they're using, a good question. I don't have that information, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're looking to cash out. We're not totally sure yet what we're gonna do with it, but yeah, we're looking to cash out. We're gonna probably refinance that one that we're redoing, and then the one on Gregory, like in the actual South Wedge.
Yeah. I think a lot of people got crushed with the tax increases too, so they're now looking at the equity they've got and going, "How do I do this?"
Oh, that's interesting. Ours didn't really go up that much. God, maybe it did. Maybe we just weren't paying attention.
Well, they do the tax assessment increases every 4 years in the city, and this was the year, and the window's already closed to do anything about it. They only gave like a 25-day extension. So
yeah, we didn't feel like it was that much worse. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of people were surprised because they were paying they only increased taxes once every 4 years. They purchased the property for $30,000 and were paying taxes on $30,000, and all of a sudden it's worth $130,000, and their taxes tripled, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm not charging enough rent for this." Well, I'm sorry, it's Rochester. You should have known better. It's been done every 4 years since the dawn of time. I'm sorry nobody warned you ahead of time, but it's common sense that you're going to pay more taxes when you paid $30,000 for a house and you've been paying taxes on that $30,000 for 3 years.
Yeah. Honestly, we've been trying to look maybe in other markets. Rochester can be hard. And those new landlord rules, I mean, I don't even know why you would sign a lease with the new land. It's like almost like a pretend thing that I'm giving them, because none of it is legal. They can literally walk out of the house and never pay you. They can stay in the house and never pay you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Pretty much.
It's kind of like a joke. I just like try to, I don't know, scare people with the lease. I don't know what we're doing with the lease, but you just hope people are moral. But so I don't know. The Rochester market's a little bit scary.
There's a lot of people looking outside for sure. Tennessee, Carolinas, Texas.
Yes, exactly. Mid-Atlantic. Yeah. It's a little expensive, but then you go away from the coast and North Carolina, of course.
Yep.
What was the other thing we were supposed to say?
What's going to make your year
Oh
go
yeah.
the way you want it to.
Okay, I don't know if this is really real estate, but how about RVs? I know Scott looks for them, I think, sometimes. Anybody know anything about RVs?
Nope.
Nope. Other than they're expensive and a pain in the butt to fix, and they're all moldy and gross. Other than that, I know nothing.
Well, I'm looking for one of those moldy and gross. No, that kind of occurred to me. Yeah, and then well, we just have a couple of ideas. Really would make my year if we get lots of money out of those houses. There you go. I'm done. It's you, Dustin. It's your turn.
Hello. As you see, I'm driving, so I'm going to try my best here. But my name is Dustin. I'm a full-time HVAC technician. That's what I'm doing right now. On Thursday, I'm in the day, unfortunately. But I'm a part-time real estate investor. I had 3 units, just sold one of my single families, flipped it for a very large profit, took advantage of the market right now. And so now we have 2 rental units, which is our duplex, and just actively trying to network and create strong relationships with lenders. My biggest bottleneck in my business right now is having a relationship where a lender, where if I find a deal and I want to make an offer on it, that I can get, approval for funding within a day or 2. I had a deal that I found a few weeks ago. I reached out to a few lenders that I knew, and it took them about 3 or 4 days to get back to me, which is fine. They're probably busy, but unfortunately that killed the deal on my end because someone else started negotiating. So my goal is to just add $1,000 in cash flow by the end of the year to my portfolio and just get relationships. So if I find a deal, I can reach out to someone and say, hey, this is the price, this is how much I need, and I can get approval pretty quickly. Other than that, I'm just trying to do buy and hold right now. But if the flip lands in my lap, I'm probably going to say yes to it because flipping a house was a pretty cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of the few who flipped a house and didn't lose their butt on one of their first deals, too. So it puts a better taste in your mouth, I think, than most people who are like, oh, this will be a cakewalk. I can fix all this stuff myself. And they have no idea what they're getting into.
That's benefit, but I'm definitely starting to see the opportunity cost scenario where maybe I should be doing other things like finding deals and contracting out some of the work that I do. But obviously the sweat equity is nice, but I'm starting to kind of segue into being more involved on the business instead of in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And but the flip that I just did, it was one of our rentals that we had a fire in. I've been talking about it a lot, but we were about a week away from putting a tenant in it, and my realtor had a house for sale 5 houses down for an astronomical amount of money. And I said, if that thing goes, call me and I'll sell. And he got a full price offer the first day.
Wow.
So we're going to profit $63,000 on this house that I thought was going to be a rental. But that doesn't happen all the time. The reason why we're profiting is because all of that rehab money was insurance money. So it was essentially free money to rehab the house.
Right.
So we let it go.
Nice. There's worse things, dude. And 63K is nothing to sneeze at, to be sure. This is the time to sell. If you're going to dump a property, especially if you're going to a single family, buyer, this is the right market to do it in, because 6 months from now, God only knows if anybody's going to be able to get financing. That's reality.
That's very true. And the nice thing is that it gives me a nice cushion for reserves or down payments towards lenders. Right. And I think it's definitely going to propel our business. And just intrinsically, it makes me feel better. Like I have some of my own money that I can do a deal with, and I'm not completely dependent on someone else funding a deal for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's important. That's awesome. Cool. So just finding somebody to help with the lending side who can get you an answer quicker, huh? What about hard money guys, cash guys?
Well, I think it was the landlord. No, it wasn't a landlord meeting. It was Colleen Bracci's meeting last week. She had a speaker on Nicholas something. Last name started with a C, but he's a private / hard money lender in the Rochester region, and he seems to have really good rates and good programs. So I'm going to reach out to him. Hard money is nice, but it's expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the more you use them, usually they'll drop the interest rate a little bit for you based on loyalty. But I've reached out to a couple, and I brought some deals to the table at these meetings, and a lot of the private lenders at the table were like, hey, you know, there's private lenders sitting here. Don't spend all that money with hard money. That's expensive money. And so I agree. So I'm just trying to obviously have a good cookie jar that I can just dip into and just reach out to a bunch of lenders, and hopefully someone gets back to me at a decent time frame.
Right. That's cool. It's a good goal to have, brother. Sounds like you're doing good, though. I mean, it's strike while the iron's hot, for sure. Anybody on here who's got a property to sell, freaking sell it, because it's insanity right now. Pretty much anywhere.
I'm not swinging tools. I'm at least
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping our refi goes well, because things are so the prices are insane.
They're astronomical, and if it's in a good area, a lot of them are going for 30,000-40,000 over asking. Like, people aren't even putting in offers at asking anymore. Nobody even tries to lowball. They're just paying stupid money. Unfortunately, the other side of that is good luck finding an investment property that you can pick up at, 40% of ARV without killing somebody, because that's about the only way it's going to happen at this point. Everybody's paying way too much.
Yeah, I was at a customer's house last week. The house was for sale, and she was telling me that they wanted to move into their new home that they had built before they sold that home, and the realtor was like, nope, sorry, you're selling it right now. And so they did, and they had a cash offer of $50,000 over asking. And, at that point, it has to be a cash offer because it won't appraise. It's just crazy that people are getting offers like that.
Yeah, I've heard stories like that, but I don't know if I've heard of a $50,000 over at cash offer. That's insanity. I heard a 40,000 or a 35,000 down Canandaigua way maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but that was right at the beginning of COVID. Nobody really knew what was going to happen, so that one was kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. But now it's kind of like that's back. All right, see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Are we all back?
Yeah.
Looks like we lost 3 or 4 people dropped during that.
Interesting.
We went from 32 to 27.
Yeah, actually, I was in a room with 3 other guys. They all were non-video participants, and it worked out. All 4 of us were able to talk. It felt really well.
Good.
There was only me and 2 other people, and then toward the end, somebody else popped on and then popped right off. It was kind of weird.
Okay. That is super weird.
Yeah, some people couldn't get in or didn't get in. I think you have a button that you check to, or you hit to go to the breakout room. Some people didn't want to do it.
Oh.
Hung on for a while, and then they dropped off completely.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
All right. Everybody find that beneficial, I hope?
One of the best meetings ever there, Scotty.
Alrighty, good.
Yeah, Scott, I like the breakout room thing, because then you get you're only talking to like a few people. Anyway, the last meeting I went to, there wasn't one, and I think it's beneficial. Just my 2. I know you can't really see me. It's getting dark in here.
I see ya.
Sorry. Hi.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, good. And, we had Damien in our room. It was fun. We had Larry Tworski. I hope I said that right.
Borowski.
Thank you, Torowski.
Thank you, Joe.
I thought I said, I just know how to make the checks out to the right name. That's all. And then Dave DiCarlo and Damien, he was in our group too. And it was really good because, 3 of us have a little bit of experience. Damien's a little bit new to it, but he's on the right track. And Yeah, so he's looking to wholesale some deals out. So he's over there in Buffalo and looking to wholesale some deals out. So if anybody's looking to buy, you gonna do over in Buffalo, Damien, or are you gonna come over to Rochester? You're muted, buddy.
I'm virtual, so wherever I can find a good deal at.
All right, find a good deal on the storage unit anywhere in America. Let me know. I'm in.
Copy.
I'll even bring you in on it a little bit. Absolutely.
Sound good to me.
Anybody else have anything you want to share from the breakout room? Go ahead.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah,
Hey, when I talked to you earlier, did you look in any further into that one?
I did look at it. It's a big number on that one.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I was kind of hoping there was more units there available. So I do.
Yeah, there's definitely room to expand to more units, but right now as it is, yeah,
Yeah, I'd like to look at the financials on that one. I don't know if you've been in contact with a person, but it's worth looking at the financials, see if the numbers work where it stands. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where he had he didn't report a lot of financials, and that's where the problem lies.
Yeah. Cool. All righty.
I got a quick question for you guys. Somebody on this must know. Quite some time ago, and it's been a while since I've looked for it, but the city used to have a list of the properties that were scheduled to be demolished. Do they still have that list? Is it accessible, Carl?
Yes, they do. It's online. You get into the map section. You work into it. They have a ton of different cool interactive maps, and the demolition parcels are right on there too. So you'll get to it somehow, but it's online.
Okay, great. Yeah, I hadn't looked for it in a while, and I wanted to tell somebody about it. Thank you.
Question for you, Carl. Demo list properties. Share your experience in those, and if you've been able to bring any back from the dead to not have them demoed. You had any luck with anything like that?
I have no desire to. If they're slated for demolition, I want them demoed. So I don't even go down that road. They're beyond repair and revivability. Leave it alone. Move on to the next one.
Okay, for the most part, I'll agree with you.
I've in almost that were completed and turned around.
Yeah, if you're talking a rehab versus that's different. And there are some out there you can revive, but you got to look at the total cost of rehab versus resale value. I mean, if you're in the C and D areas, it doesn't really make any sense. So it's got to be in the B and A areas for it to make sense. So the demos, it's on a demo list for a reason, and those are ones that just simply are not revivable.
I knew a guy that bought one off the demo list. He spent $32,000 fixing it up, and it was his first time doing it. I ended up buying the house for $12,000, and that was his last deal he ever did. His wife almost killed him because he bought in the wrong spot, didn't know what he was doing, and he was watching the flip shows. Thought he had a sweet deal. He only bought it for $500. And that
I sold a listing a couple weeks ago, Joe, that you saw for about $30,000 more than it should have been sold for to somebody who thinks they're going to flip it.
Cannot believe they sold that property. So everybody knows, I looked at a house in Henrietta for $59,000, and Colleen had it. And you walk in, there's no basement, and you can cook. You can cook your food, and to the left, you can do your washing machine and dryer. Okay, and their kitchen was smaller than my office, and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't. It was worth 110. Somebody's gonna flip that.
It had a new roof and a new hot water tank. That was the only thing that's been done on it in 40 years.
Their dishwasher was a laundry machine.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. You could burn your clothes by mistake.
Hey, don't knock it. All those nice high-end apartments are putting the washing machine combo dryer underneath the counter in the kitchen now. There's a lot of it.
Really? Goodness, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Morgan, before they got bought by the other Morgan, and all the Solomon properties in the city, all of them are doing it.
Multitasking.
European.
Ugh. Not for me.
It's because they're too cheap to run water and drainage and exhaust and stuff anywhere but the kitchen. They just don't want to pay for running more electric and more utilities anywhere in the house. That's all in the apartment.
All right, anybody have any questions, especially new people? This is the time. We throw it out there. If you got a question, don't worry, it's not a dumb question. We all had the same question at one point. A lot of people may still have the question. So what questions do you guys have?
Well, Scott, let's go back to your question before we head out to that way. I had a question before the break room, and maybe now's a good time to address it. What you want to see change? Rephrase that question. What do you want to see change to meet your goals? What was that again?
What it was what's one thing that would help you reach your goal by the end of the year?
Cool. Let's start with that one, and I'll head it off. Get rid of COVID-19. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's make it a little less broad and a little bit more personally achievable.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I would suggest, he's probably gonna get a little upset with me, but I had an opportunity to meet a couple of days ago, Johnny Granville III, and he's the guy that's Johnny with the iPhone, and he's in the lower left-hand part of my screen, and found him because I was looking for an electrician. And so if any of you need a person who can work in the city as a licensed electrician, then you can talk to Johnny. But the thing that we got into was a fair amount of discussion around being a real estate investor, because that's what he said that he wanted to do. And lo and behold, I was really surprised, and I was taken back by his name because I know his grandfather, and back in the day, his grandfather and I used to hang out quite a bit. So he had a couple of questions that he had asked in the breakout room associated with wholesaling. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to make sure Johnny thought a shot. This is his first meeting, and have him ask some questions to the wholesaling guru here, Mr. Joe Lababera. So Johnny, this is your introduction to Joe Lababera. I talked about him quite a bit to you because you have an interest in the wholesaling arena. So just give you an opportunity to interact with him directly. Other than the fact you got all of us on the call, but he's here now, and you can ask the wholesaling guru of the East Coast. See, I won't even go to Rochester.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I was talking. I had a pleasure to meet Leon a couple of days ago. I knew about this group. I never actually joined a meeting. This is my first time. I'm actually still working right now. Right now, I'm in the car, so I am a little shy. But right now, I'm just trying to pay attention to the road too. Also, yeah, I actually want to get into wholesaling, and I was asking Leon and everybody that was in the group, did they think that the market is overcrowded with it right now, and can it, is it still lucrative to actually become a wholesaler? And if it is, structurally, how should I, basically set it up? I don't know if you can give, I know you're not a lawyer, but actually just, basically put me in the right direction to actually start.
People always ask if the market is saturated. And I was listening to somebody a while back, a few years back, and he said something very, very important. And he goes, it doesn't matter how saturated the market is. Okay. There's always room for number one. Okay. So understand that there will always be room for number one. Now, and please, and I know Leon says guru, no, I'm not. We're all of us are out here working as much as possible. We're all friendly competitors. We're just out there. Some more than others because of jobs, situations, families, whatever. But the thing is that what I tell people is that you got to think, okay, I got to go for number one. And let's just say you do become number one. You have to work like you're still number 2, 3, or 4. Okay. So whenever people tell me it's a saturated, yes, there's a lot of people here in Rochester. Real estate, there's a big romance with it right now. Everybody loves it because the market is fantastic. And then when the market falls back, you're going to start seeing people start to fall off, because people do come and go in here. And I tell people, treat it like a business because it is a business. Everybody wants to make $1 million, but they treat it like it's, like it's their job, and it's nowhere near that. And obviously I'm not gonna get into all this. And by the way, there's other wholesalers on here too. So please, and other investors, please feel free to chime in because I don't want to take up this whole entire conversation.
We learned from you, Joe.
You guys are doing fantastic. You didn't learn anything from me. You just came in and you basically got your system. And everybody like Kivio. Kivio works with Earl, and these two guys, they came in there, they studied, and they basically, they got a whole system in place, and they treat it like a business, and they're able to go a lot farther, a lot faster than when I got started because we didn't have all this stuff.
We had you guys though, Joe, not to push him more. He doesn't really like the light like that. But like Leon said, I called Joe's billboard guys, and Joe invited me to this meeting, and that's how I began to gain momentum. I called Joe's billboard, and he invited me over on a Thursday night. And I called his phone, and he answered, and then everybody else in this group. So, you're in a good place, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. And what you're asking could take hours and hours, but plug into this group, and you just got to be consistent about it. I guarantee you, Kivio's doing this every single day. Him and Earl every day, and a lot of people get started just like I did. Everybody here in real estate, 99% of us had jobs. Nobody came into this business being a millionaire. And, so a lot of people are like, okay, I got to work. Okay. That's everybody else.
Right.
But being consistent with it and doing something every single day. And by the way, connecting with these people on this group here, you already have buyers. People are like, oh, I can't find any buyers. Hello. You got a small portion of them right here that you can just plug into. And there's other wholesalers you can collaborate with. I know I can call Kivio. I know I can call Colleen, Scott, Joe, Leon, all these people. And I glean as much as I can from these guys. And I still do. And I'm still learning. Wholesaling, you'll make money. You will not create wealth. But you'll be able to find things and be able to, put yourself in a position where you can start creating wealth, where you can keep some of the good stuff and be able to, start getting some passive income.
That's what I told Colleen my goal was. I'm gonna start keeping stuff from guys.
There you
I
go.
have to. I got kids.
Hey, that's what you have to do. And then you have to get out of your mind that, I don't have the money, I don't have this. When I did my first deal to buy and hold, it was 15 properties at once, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it. So my lender basically slapped me across the face and said, "You can't afford not to do this deal." And when he sat down with me and showed me what why I should do the deal, I was in. You know, and because I kept wholesaling the deals out, and just like Kiva, you're gonna do the exact same thing. You know, all of us here on this call find things we want to keep. I found things I want to keep. You know, and then obviously you want to wholesale. I know that probably answered a small portion of your gigantic question.
No. It answered a lot. I mean, I'm kind of knowledgeable already. Like I said, I bought a few properties back from the city auction 2015. I rehabbed, I sold them, but I just kind of want to do real estate a little different now. I kind of want to get out of the laboring side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want to, you know, stick to my trade, but I mean, I was doing everything. You cannot do everything. I mean, I'm doing the electrical, the plumbing, the flooring, the drywall. I mean, it's kind of pretty much just burning myself out.
You won't create wealth that way. You have to get to the point where you know,
right.
you don't have time to pick up a hammer. Do I have the tools? My background's construction, but I don't have the time. I lose money. If I have to pay someone $2,000 to do something for me, but I know I can go out and make $5,000 somewhere else, I just made $3,000 by paying somebody else to do something for me.
Right.
Once you start understanding that, man, now I'm like, you know, I don't like touching a hammer. I tell people it gives me a rash. I got to get away from it. Okay. I got to take a Benadryl. So, but you got to get to that point.
Well, I wish I did a little different versus taking the bulk of my capital and just, you know, and then I went in head first and I bought 5 properties.
Did you freeze? Is he still there?
I have lost him. There he is.
Oh, I don't know if he's gone or not.
Who, me?
Is he still there?
Hello?
Oh, there he is. Look, I know you said you have 5 properties. You're not 99 years old. You're not going to die tomorrow. You could definitely start buying properties and get yourself situated where you can start doing it your way.
Oh, did I cut off?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, no, what I was saying was I wish I didn't go head first in the beginning. I had bought 5 properties at one time. And that took a toll just on me. Because they all need a rehab. I mean, everything from the roof to everything. And like I said, just kind of want to do real estate a little different.
Sounds like somebody has equity to me.
Go ahead, Scott.
You have any equity in those properties?
Not anymore.
Yes. No, I sold.
Okay.
Early.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that part.
In our breakout room, Ashley, who is new and not a member yet, but she's going to be, had said that what would make, she's been doing a lot of research and she's trying to find leads for houses to wholesale, and she's not having a whole lot of luck. So she doesn't know whether she should be looking someplace else or talking to someone else. And I told her that she should be talking to the people in this group because that's where she's going to find her deals. So Ashley, if you want to unmute yourself there and ask the question yourself, maybe you'll get some answers.
Hi, thank you. Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if this is working. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, what I was just explaining was that I've used different platforms to try to generate leads. Last time I was here, I spoke about this before, like LoopNet, PropStream, targeting, you know, pre-foreclosures, tax liens. However, I haven't been successful yet. Like there's times when I found things and I think that like with experience, I would have been able to close them a little I would have been able to close them. But I'm just thinking now how I can generate more leads. I'm doing a lot of cold calling, which does take up a lot of time. So I just want to be smart about how I am allocating my number one resource, which is time. Like, what's the best thing for me to do?
She froze up there a little bit.
Anybody want to help her with what everybody else is doing to try finding leads?
I'll jump in, but Ashley, are you there? Can you hear us or not? She froze up. Andy, what do we do? Tap on it? Tap on the square? Oh.
Carl.
Blow on it, Carl.
Where'd you go?
She's
got to hear the spot.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. You're back.
Now we can.
Now we can.
Yeah, Ashley, we got the question. We're going to have a couple of different answers for you.
Okay.
You're doing all the right stuff, but I think you're in disappointment because it's not happening fast enough. That's usually the what happens to the newbies. It's not happening fast enough. You get disappointed and frustrated. I got to tell you, it does take time and hustle. And what you're doing right now is what we call planting seeds. See, these seeds are going to blossom over time. And they might not pop in right now, but by planting the seeds, let me tell you, in a year or 2 or 3, you're going to be overwhelmed, right, Joe? So
yeah,
what I did, I was talking about. So a little old school, but it works very well, is hit the streets. So you're hitting technology on one hand. On the other hand, hit the streets. What better way in the summertime, you get to see all the high grass and weeds, right? So what I do, I have postcards. I go up to the door. I hit the stapler on all the doors. Bam, 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 bam. I'm an investor. Come call me. Bam. Every single one of them. And wintertime, I love it. Nothing getting shoveled. Same thing. Bam, 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 bam. Now I got a lot of leads that way, right? Over time. Not right away, but over time. And then before you know it, you get more than you can handle, right? So, Joe, help me out with this. Am I kind of right with that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're building a funnel.
Mm-hmm.
You get people to call you 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years later. It's crazy. Absolutely.
Same thing with deals. I mean, you try to strike a deal now, and it's like it fizzles out. And here's my name, and you get that call, right, Joe? 8, 9, 2 years, 1 year later. Hey, here I am. So, perseverance is very important. Little tenacity, determination. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of of that to get you over that hump of getting those results. And so you're doing all the right stuff. And I'll conclude with this to help your question is have a one-on-one coaching session with somebody like Joe. I mean, if you got to pay him 100, 150, one-on-one coaching session, just one-on-one offline, and then help that way. Hook up with an experienced coach in that area of expertise. So those are my suggestions. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Yeah. I definitely agree with the comments that Joe made and that Carl made. I just leave people with one of the salient thoughts that I normally try to provide folks with, and that is, you're a real estate investor, but you're not in the real estate business. You're in the marketing business. The number one thing for you to do is market. If you don't think that what I just said is true, stop marketing and see what happens. You know, you're in the marketing business, and the number one thing for you to do is to make sure that you put your stuff out there and make people aware of what it is that you provide, and you do it in a way that you create this funnel, as Joe talked about, where you get input coming back to you in a number of different ways. So you heard Carl talk about putting up the postcards on the doors. You know, you can do it technology-wise with things like Google AdWords. So you cover the whole spectrum, but you're in the marketing business and you have this funnel and you're trying to get people to bring their deals into your funnel. So
social media.
That's my input.
Right. And something else that I've been thinking about also is how I can market besides just like cold call, putting ads on the internet or different things like that. Because so I don't drive, and because of COVID, I've really been like super quarantined. I don't go anywhere. But I think like maybe I just do need to go again in my neighborhood and just hit maybe some handwritten notes or a postcard and that.
Ashley, where are you located? Are you here local?
No, I'm not. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I'm out in Jersey now.
Jersey. Well, look, obviously, I know you got to be careful for everything going on with COVID. With COVID, I tell people, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I was just having this conversation in the breakout room with one of the gentlemen because he lives out in an area which is, farther out from Rochester. And I just told him, find somebody, because Brooklyn, I mean, in New Jersey, it's so big, but there's also whatever area that you're working in, find out who the local real estate agent is, and who the local real estate attorney is, and who the local, the gentleman who does all the estates, probates, and go there and talk to them. I'm sure everybody does it anyways, but if you can go there, at least start creating a relationship with them, because you got to do exactly what you're doing. At the same time, you got to start doing something just a little bit different.
Right, I agree.
Keep doing what you're doing. The thing is that, and I tell people, don't just call them once. You have no idea how many times I call Colleen before she'd even start calling me. I pester people, okay, in a nice way. But the thing is, I tell people, I go, look, this is not the last time you're going to hear from me. So I already preface it that way, and I let them know that to expect a phone call from me again. And the thing is that, a lot of times I'll say, look, I have this money. I'm going to spend it anyways. I'd like to do it through you. What do you think they're going to do? Say no? They're going to remember you and say, look, I just want you to understand, I'm going to call you again. And then just start doing that. And you do that on a consistent basis. You're reaching out, you're touching people. And then after a while, you get to the point where they'll start calling you. Will it happen all at once? No. Our job is not to know which house we're going to get. Our job is to get to the next house as fast as possible. And then in between all that, you're going to find deals. And if you're not getting the deals, then you stop. You say, okay, what am I doing wrong, or what can I improve? And don't be afraid to just pick up the phone and call anybody, especially people in this group, because we'd be more than happy to help you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that helps a lot.
I don't know if anyone else wants to chime in.
Social media. I just found that out. I've never had any social media until maybe a month ago, but I have people calling me, hey, there's a house over here, Kivo, there's a house over here. Hey, I'm interested in it. Just a bunch of stuff going on social media when you have content and you're visible and people can see, like Leon said, what you're doing. And people know what you're doing. So social media is free marketing.
Yeah. Kivo, you're really good at that.
Just learned it. Thanks, bud.
No, man, you're good at it. I see it. So people are reaching out to you. You don't have to call them. They're calling you.
Yep. They're doing the instant, what I put on my phone. What's the messenger? Messenger. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I just get messages. Bing, bing.
How's it go?
Bing. Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
What you mean? Cha-ching, cha-ching,
exactly.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, just change the sound it makes.
Hey guys, this is Dan. I don't know if anyone's looking to look out of the market right now, of our market, and 6 hours away is investment opportunity that I came across. It's not for me right now because I'm looking for the flip with all those who are wholesaling. If the deal is right, I'd love to sit down and chat with you about it. But I've got a turnkey gentleman who has B and C type houses, and he's planning to have over 100. I mean, he has basically a marketing system right now that he has, and he's starting to do turnkey operations where he's got whole portfolio. He's got them in the B and C, roughly $500,000. You have to come down with a certain. I can introduce you to the gentleman, and they're all buy and holds. They're all rentals for you. And he's got. They're all looking at, again, at that $500,000 mark. You have to come down with like maybe $140,000 down, whatever your finance it is. And he has all this information for you. I'm not good at this. I'm just trying to do my best job of passing it on to you.
How many units, Dan? Not to interrupt. I apologize for interrupting you.
They're mostly single family houses, and they're all like I say, it's turnkey. The houses will have people in it. If you don't, he's got a maintenance group that's working with him. He gets 7% on that the maintenance area because of what he's promised to do for the maintenance company. And again, it's in Pittsburgh, and he has, I say, it's 500,000. He gets you 5 houses, roughly 90 to 100, and they're on the B and C numbers. And if he has 11 properties that you can get that are Section 8 properties that he has. And he was with Fortune Builders for a long time. He was their guy that was in charge of tech for them. And he taught a lot of us what we know in regards to how to get on Zillow and get on Facebook and get on Craigslist and so on and so forth. But he broke from Fortune Builders to start his own passive income property sales, and he's making his money through what he's doing there. And I can introduce you to them, and then you can have a chance to start networking out into Pittsburgh with a very similar market as Rochester. So bring that up to you. And I got some information that I can send to you too in regards to the type of houses and what's the cap rates and everything for that as well.
All right. Anybody else? Hey, Jim, I wanted to circle back with you. On that property, it is asking price on it for self-storage. I'd be looking for an annual income about $100,000 because at a 10 cap, the number he's asking for 750, that would work. So
when he gave me a rough number, it was 80% or 20% vacancy, 80% occupied, and I think he said it was around $75,000 to $80,000 per year. But that did not include, I don't know if you saw it, but the big pole barn or big work barn there. That did not include anything that could be done in there. And I guess the guy was a welder, and it's very well built. That's what he told me. So if you could think of something to put in there to maybe get that up to 100.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look into it then. Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at it. I think we put the money together if the numbers can work. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. And I got his information. I was just looking at my phone. I was going to forward you the email that he sent to me.
All right. Good. All righty. Anybody else got anything they want to add? There's some quiet people on here.
So I just had a quick question. So to touch base on, if you go through the summer and you drive by like a property, a single family, and the grass is growing up. Doesn't look like it's being well kept. So you go and try, I look at the public records, I see who owns it. I see if anything has been done on it with permits and stuff. But if I get to the point where I try to make contact with that person, what is the next step if they say, well, yeah, we're interested. What do you do? Or what can you offer? I mean, at that point, what's the next step after that?
I'm going to call out Tony Smith. Tony, you sit there
No.
quiet. You got tons of knowledge. Tony, what would you do? Did you hear that one?
I'm going to bring you with me.
I'm sorry, Jim. What was that again? I'm sorry.
Hey, Tony, I found a property, like, it's got grass growing up, right? It's a nice ranch. Doesn't look like it's been occupied. There's a truck in there, but the truck never moves. So I did some research on it and was going to go and knock, see if anybody's home, leave a note. But my question is okay, so somebody reaches back out to me. Then what's the next step? How do I say, well, this is what I want to offer, but how do you set up some sort of deal like that?
Okay. Can I jump in here? Oh, Tony, I'm sorry, you're up.
Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
All right, so let me help you out, Jim. When you get that initial contact, you reached out, you get that phone call. The first thing I'm doing is I'm not talking about the property. I'm not even talking about the deal or the property. I want to get to know the person. You want to develop rapport. You want to develop a relationship so that they feel comfortable with you. That's half the battle right there. You start going into numbers and property, there's a little I don't like this guy right off the bat. So building that relationship initially, how you doing? What's going on? Talk about anything but the property, and then work yourself into, I hear you got this property, potentially for sale. I'm a rehabber. Maybe we could talk about it. How about if we talk about it? Is that cool? Yeah. So work your way into that scenario. You're going to get a foot in the door that way. Anybody else agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I've done that too, Carl. When I talked, I've done a ton of cold calling, and then some people like that, and then other people are like, well, get right to the point. And then I know, and especially if they're numbers oriented, left brained, they want to hear numbers. That's how they compute. And that's one of the things. And a lot of times too, I'll say, and I said it before, I never tell them I'm an investor, I'm a buyer. I buy properties in that neighborhood, and I'm actually interested in your house. And I'm actually calling you because I want to be respectful of your time here. I'm actually interested in possibly purchasing the property, and then I see what they say and see if they're interested. And then, inevitably the next question is, well, either they say no. And by the way, you will get yelled at. You will get hung up on. Don't take it personally. It's okay. And then there's other times people like, well, say, listen, I've had this place a long time. It needs a lot of work. I say, well, that doesn't scare me. That's okay. And then what you do is you want to talk to them and then kind of figure out where they're at, what price is going to work for them. Because obviously you're going to, Jim, you're going to know somewhat the area prior to, because I try to figure out where I need to get it at. And then from there, if they're outrageous with the price, I say, look, I want to be respectful of your time here. Those numbers just don't work for me. Where would you have to be? And I'm like, I say, you got to be very nice. When you tell them, you can't tell them your house looks like a piece of crap from the outside. So obviously your house needs some work, as you well know. And, and for what they're selling for and what they have to put in there, the numbers just won't work. So I kind of put it that way. And then sometimes, they'll like, well, what number would work for you? And I'll even preface it. I'll say, look, I don't want you hating me. I want to be respectful of your time. And when I tell them that, and they, well, what number is it? Okay, they may want 80 and you're at 50. You know, and I say, look, you're going to hate me, but I'll tell you right now, I respect enough to be honest enough front with you. I'm going to be at $50,000. And here's why. Because looking from the outside, you know, you're probably going to need a roof and everything else. At the same time, I'm all cash. You know, and you know, and then see where it goes from there. You know, you can't go over every single scenario. You just, you know, you're going to learn to play it by ear.
I had the pleasure of witnessing that in the city with Joe, and it was absolutely amazing. And he didn't want that lady angry at him at all, and he's so sorry. And he had offered, we were offered $25,000 for a house that she was 75 under, and didn't work out. But it was amazing. He got her to say, "No, I'm not mad at you. I understand." So it was kind of awesome.
Oh,
So Joe, everything you just said, please tell me it's done in person and not over the phone.
I'll do both.
Right.
I'll do both.
You got a lot of volume going on. Yeah, you want to test it out over the phone, but if you got time on your hands, you're going to have a totally different outcome in person versus over the phone.
Absolutely correct.
So if you got that time, again, develop that rapport. You know, make it so that they're comfortable with you. That it'd be a good thing to meet, and then meet. And that's when you do the Joe magic, you know. In person, you know, because it's all there. It's in front of you. It's physically in front of you. You're seeing the work that needs to be done. You're seeing the issues. You're reading the nonverbal communication going on. You're interacting with human people, and you get better results that way.
Yeah.
One thing about Joe is he's really honest with the people, and he's sent me people that he wasn't able to buy their house and help them out, but I was able to sell their house for them on the other end and help them out. And every time he sent me somebody, they've had nothing but wonderful things to say about Joe. Even though he didn't give them the answer they wanted, they love Joe. Everybody loves Joe.
He's got a knack.
Don't say that. I don't know about that. I got to check my car before I start it every day.
You underestimate yourself, Joe. You have a knack and a gift. Go with it, okay?
No, look, it's just all because I talk to so many people. You know, and people like, well, you know, because some people are afraid to talk to other people, and you know, you just got to do it. And look, I still till this day practice. I talk to myself and I practice handling objections. I just do. I was taught that from before, and I've carried it with me. I still do till this day, and it helps me because you're going to get people. You know, look, we're all going into people. You know, when you call, especially if you call them over the phone or even in person, you know, typically they have a problem that they need solved. And just like you, Carl, is that you know people will sell. You know, they've sold me houses just like they have to you and Colleen, everybody else on her because they like them. They liked you over the other person that was there, you know, and establishing the rapport is 100%, you know, and the little things that I learned too. By the way, can everybody still hear me?
Yep, we hear you, Joe.
Yeah, no, I don't know because Carl was frozen. I didn't know, you know, and by the way, when I talk to people, and this is like a stupid little thing, but it works. When I sit down with them in person to person, I never sit across from them at a table. I sit at the corner with them. So that way I'm basically face to face with them. When you sit across from somebody at a table, you're automatically, subconsciously, your adversaries. You may be the nicest person in the world, but it's just because now you're in complete 100% negotiations. And that's even though it's something that simple, but those little things, and there's way more than that. And it's not about trying to trick people. It's just basically you're trying to, you know, you have a very short window, a very short time to be able to actually, you know, establish rapport with these people, and every little thing helps. And if they feel comfortable with you, that's when they open up. Okay. And just like with Colleen, and I tell them, I go, look, if I can't help you, I'm going to put you on a path or give you at least enough information to be able to arm yourself, even put you in touch with a real estate agent. So, you know, and when I do that, they're like, oh, okay. So that way it doesn't, you know, it just isn't adversarial. And by the way, women have a much easier time when it comes to calling people and establishing rapport than men. Men would rather talk to women because it's a lot easier for them, and women would rather talk to women. That is a true statistical fact. So people tell me, well, I'm a woman. Great. You've already got an advantage.
All right. I'm still going to call it Tony Smith.
He's sleeping.
I know.
He's not sleeping.
You guys
Come
covered,
on.
you covered it all. You
Nah,
covered it all.
Tony, what would you do? Come on, share your wealth of knowledge.
Well, Carl mentioned something about, you know, knowing the area and the property. Because you're going to have to know the ARV. And it depends on what your end strategy, what your goal is. I mean, what are you looking to achieve out of that property? Jim?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say it again.
What were you looking to achieve out of the property? Just to purchase it or just to flip it?
Well, it was kind of, I'm not really sure. I don't know the condition of the property. It's an older ranch. It's actually the one I was talking, the duplex I was talking to you about there, it's across the street from that, the one I missed the duplex on. I don't know if it could be turned into a multifamily, more either a single family or a flip is kind of what I was looking at.
Okay, so you just want to know that your next step once you approach the seller.
Yes. So if I made contact with the person who owned the property, and they say, okay, what can you offer me? I mean, I don't want to go in and like Joe said, I don't want to go in and insult somebody or anything like that. So I was just kind of like what Carl said, maybe get a relationship with them and then kind of bring it into the conversation to see where they're at with them, to see if they need to get out of it, to see if somebody, you know, if it's a child or, you know, one of the siblings that owns it or something like that. So I didn't know where it was at, but I just needed to know what to do as far as making an offer and the next step from there as far as going and getting financing for it before they, you know, they backed out or something like that.
So,
Oh, okay.
so somebody asks you, this is kind of a cold relationship, Jim, right? So somebody asks you, you know, they want to get right into what are you thinking? My default response is I have no idea. Okay, I really don't. I need to learn more about the property, more about you. Let's get together. When's a good time for you? Let's meet out at the property. No idea. You don't get into the stats right off the bat because you're gonna be like this, and it's gonna turn out ugly. So for mostly all the time. So that's my approach, Jim. I hope that helps you out.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, it's 8:30. It's a little bit after 8:30. We usually run these right up to about 8:30. I'll stay on for another 15 minutes or so. Andy, Leon, anything you want to add before we end? And I'm going to let Andy, are you still on here? McQuaid?
I'm here, brother.
Hey,
I'm
Kool-Aid.
here.
All right, cool. We'll let you do the, we'll let you close this out, but I'll hang after you. Andy closes it out. I'll hang for a little bit.
All right.
Leon, go ahead. We'll let Leon, you got any announcements you want to add, Leon or Susan?
No announcements to add. I'll close it out. So thanks to everyone for being here. It was a very fruitful meeting from the standpoint of going over some of the fundamental basic things that you really need to learn. I think everybody has a little bit different approach, and that needs to be what's natural for you. Andy?
Right. Everybody else has the same puzzled look on their face I do. I don't know what that was. Was that the hunchback walking through or what?
I don't know what that sound was. What was it? That's weird. Anyway. All right. So thanks everybody for coming.
Andy, Andy, can I jump in here for a second?
Shoot.
All right, just so everybody knows, next Thursday night is I moderate the property management support group, same time, same station. This is everything property management. We're going to go through a whole bunch of changes that's happened in the last 30 days to help your do-it-yourself managers get through this daily changing of the pandemic. It's like amazing. So that's next Thursday night. See you then.
Perfect. Thanks, Carl. My pitch is usually this. This is a great group. Thus far, the group has had, I think we've only ever had 1 month where we did not have 5 or more meetings since the pandemic started. I think that there's a lot of value to be had here and a lot of knowledge and networking. We had a survey that we had sent out a couple of months ago. We did get about 100 responses back to that, and the vast majority of people come here for 2 reasons: education and networking. And there is no group, no nonprofit real estate investing group or any other real estate investing group in the area that does even remotely close to what this group does as far as connecting people, teaching people, helping people get started, helping people work through issues and all the other stuff that goes with either real estate investing or property management. There's at least 5 meetings every month. There's opportunities for coaching and other classes. And so far, membership dues this year, in addition to running the Zoom meetings and doing all the website stuff and all that overhead that an organization pays out, it's an entirely volunteer-run organization. Joe and Scott, our hosts, don't get paid. Susan, Leon, and Joe, the board, do not get paid. The only thing the money from the group goes to is operating the group, doing the meetings and the picnics and paying for the services that we need to pay for. And it goes to standing by everybody in this room, small landlords, small property investors involved in business, potentially in New York, where Under One Roof gets involved. And thus far, the organization has donated, it's getting very close to $10,000 for the year once you count the golf outing. And that's just from the coffers of Freedom First going into that fund to help fight the insanity that is bankrupting small landlords and just adding. I think this year alone, the average landlord has seen an increase between 5 and 7% of their gross costs, some of them upwards of 10, just doing business, not including people not paying their rent. We're just talking about costs of doing business with all the new regulations and craziness. So, you know, it's a worthwhile cause. If you're not a member, become a member. You're never going to find a group or a person that's going to teach you as much as you're going to learn here and give you the connections that you need. That's not going to charge you $30,000 a year. That's a fact. It is what it is. There's a lot of groups out there. This is the only one that basically gives it away. $170 gets you everything that you need. So that's my pitch.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, everybody, go out there, have a great weekend. Support small businesses. They're out there struggling just like we all are. But if you're out there, support small businesses. I can't say that enough. So, and Da Vinci's is open, and they got really good food there. So.
Really good food.
Thank you, everyone.
They be supporting Da Vinci's.
I like your cat, Colleen.
I like your cat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Hey, Joe. Oh, God, sorry. Joe, I gave your number to this guy, Arturo, about the 19th Ward House.
What was his name?
Arturo.
Why do I know that name? All right.
He just moved here from Kansas, and he basically wants, I think he wants to buy a house to live in, and he does a lot of work, so, on houses. he has experience with fire, but I gave him your number because I don't know if I have the right email. What's your email?
1-855-JOE-BUYS@gmail.com.
Oh, 1855. So 1855 Joe Buys at Gmail.
Yep. Or
Okay.
585-802-7052.
What's that?
Or my phone number, 585-802-7052. Thank you for giving them my number. By the way.
052. Okay, yeah, I have your number. All right, I'll fix your email.
No problem.
Cool. And I don't know. I think that's all I have to say.
Okay. Thanks everybody for tonight.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Scott.
Yep. No problem.
All right, guys.
Every month.
Hey, wait, I thought you were retiring.
I am retired.
Oh, you are retired. Aren't you
I'm here to
going?
help you guys. I need people to join me in their RVs and go traveling with me.
Okay, hey, I was gonna private message you, but I might be interested in like a beat up RV to look at, and you want me to text you on that? I don't know if that's technically real estate.
It's alternative ways to make money.
That's what I thought. You can like rent them out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? There's a website, rvoutdoorsy.com.
Yep.
Thank you. It's a cheap investment, and I think it would be fun to redo it. Like rehab one. Maybe you could ask me later on in the rehab if I thought that was fun, but
okay.
Oh, maybe.
Alrighty.
I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
So if you know of any Class C or smaller.
Okay. We got dealers actually contacting us now with a couple RVs before they take them off into the auction. So yeah, if I see some Class Cs, I'll let you know.
Yeah, Class C or smaller. Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Okay. Yeah. Let me know.
And Jim, yeah, if you want to get some more information on that guy, or put us in touch with him, we'll look at it and see if we can make the numbers work.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll give him. I'm forwarding you the email, and I got the broker's name. I don't know how experienced he is as a broker he is. I asked him. I thought were common questions that he didn't really know. So I don't know if he just didn't know the answers or wasn't prepared for the questions. But I'll definitely send you his information on that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thanks for everything, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Great to meet you.
Good luck over there, Isaiah. Let me know how it goes.
Send me over that contract you're gonna send me there.
Send me your email.
Really quick question. Where are you doing your purchase tomorrow, or your whatever tomorrow?
Me?
Yeah, where?
Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, look forward to hearing about it the next meeting.
Area, yep.
Yeah.
Joe.
Luck.
Thank you. I'll text you my email, Joe.
All right.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Everyone have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, Elizabeth, what are you eating? Oh, she's gone.
I think she thought the meeting was over.
Everybody.
All right. Thanks for your help there, Andy, running this thing.
Sure, I didn't do much. I just let some people in at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
gave a spiel that was a little bit longer than I would have liked, probably.
Yeah, it's needed. People need to understand where the money's going, and also they under one roof, how important it is.
Yeah, and going through the survey results, actually, since you guys are here, I was really surprised by the number of people who maybe didn't know that we did more than just the general meeting. Like, there was 3 or 4 comments about wanting to learn stuff and have opportunities for coaching and network and all this other stuff. And they're like, the general meetings suck. we don't go because of this, this, and this. It'd be really cool to have these meetings. And I'm like, we have these meetings. What do you mean? Like, these meetings exist already. What is going on? And I was like, what? So one of the things I'm going to talk to the board about next week, I'm just going to mention the need to shout out the AREIS and the landlord support group meetings that happen every week, because apparently the message is not getting out. And yeah, but the board did throw a bunch of money into they're the player sponsor now for the Under One Roof golf outing. I sponsored the closest to the pin. So
Nice. Yeah,
I won't be golfing though. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have my son that entire day, and the day before is my wife's birthday, so I'm like treading thin ice to just be there.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is what it is. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, Tony, thanks for sharing tonight. Gotta get you to share more, man. You know a lot. People get tired of listening to Joe and I. So.
Yeah,
no, I love to listen to Joe.
No, I agree. Tony.
Hey, quick question. Who is that guy who's looking for that triplex? Because I just got a lead on a double and a triplex.
Oh, Dustin?
Yeah,
it's
that's
Dustin.
his name.
Yeah, it's Dustin.
Yep.
Yep, he's good people.
Put his contact info, Tony.
What was that, Scott?
I'll shoot you his contact information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. I got a lead on a guy that wants to get rid of. There's an investor, and this property manager manages it, and he wants to get rid of it. And there's a double and a triplex.
Wow.
And I'm not interested. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
All right, that'll be great.
Oh, good. All righty, guys.
Cool.
We'll see y'all.
We'll call it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Take it easy. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.